Go the Distance, Chapter 18, Control. Meg! Hercules ran toward her, ripping off the vines still wrapped around her with his bare hands. Are you okay? Meg rubbed her arms, staring at the rope burns from the vines that had replaced the burns lingering from the Empusa. Her ears were still ringing from the sound of the Crotala, so his voice sounded muffled, and her legs were weak from being stretched and pulled, but the birds were gone. She tried to stand, and Hercules offered her his arm. She didn't take it. How did you know I was here? She said, her voice hoarse from all the yelling. Phil and Peg were racing toward her. I heard you were in trouble. Hercules fixed his headband, which was askew and covering his right eye. She bristled. And you thought I needed rescuing? Meg leaned against a tree to catch her breath. She was covered in grass stains, had cuts from the branches and vines, and possibly a gash in her back from all the pecking, but she was still in one piece. You didn't think I could take care of myself? Phil interrupted them, practically jumping on Hercules in his attempt to reach up and rub his golden hair. Pegasus hopped along excitedly beside them. Am I glad you showed up, kid? I thought we were goners. He hung onto Hercules' massive biceps, sitting on it like a chair. I saw my mother and Athena looking toward Earth from their cloud, and when I saw them mention Meg's name, I rushed over to see what was going on. He looked at her sheepishly. As soon as I saw you were in trouble, I came running. Good thing you did, Phil agreed. Meg's cheeks warmed with embarrassment at the thought of Athena and Hera watching her mess up. This is just swell. Athena is probably furious with me. Actually, I think she's mad at me, Hercules admitted with wide eyes. She said to let you handle things on your own, but I couldn't just stand there when those birds were trying to tear you apart. His confession made her bristle once more. I had it under control, Meg said, hearing the edge in her voice. The men looked at her skeptically. I did! Phil turned to Pegasus, who snorted, and then back to Meg. You're delusional. The bird had us. Vines were pinning you to the ground, and there was a bird on your back. If Hercules hadn't been here to save our butts, your quest would be over, all because you wanted to bring Hades an apple. Hercules did a double take. You wanted to bring Hades an apple? No! Yes. It's hard to explain, Meg said, getting frustrated. It doesn't matter now. Wait, Meg, are you angry at me? Hercules looked confused. Meg tried to bite her tongue, but she couldn't hold back. Yes! I was this close to using the Crotala and finishing off the birds myself when you swooped in to do the whole hero thing. Athena gave me these gifts to use, not you. You wouldn't have needed the Crotala if you had just stayed on the boat and listened to reason in the first place, Phil chimed in. Now you've cost yourself even more time. Phil bleated, and it set her off. This is my quest, remember, not his. She pointed to Hercules. And not yours. It's mine to do what I want with or screw up. I didn't ask anyone to butt in. I wanted to lend a hand, Hercules said. I thought you needed me. I can take care of myself. Why can't any of you see that? Meg stormed off toward the fence. Meg, Hercules ran after her. I really didn't mean to step on your toes. I was just trying to help you. The whole innocent farm boy routine was too much for her to handle at the moment. I don't need your help. I do things on my own. Always have, always will, she said, thinking of her mother. This is my quest, and it will only work if I rely on myself. He looked unsure. But why? You can count on me. I thought you knew that. When you called for me last time, you wanted my help figuring things out, didn't you? Yes, no. I just wanted to hear myself think, she cried, trying to get confused herself. I wanted you to be there for me, not take over. There's a difference. Thea had taught her never to be indebted to anyone, and she'd already screwed up once when she went to Hades for help. She wasn't about to do it again. I thought we were a team, he said. Team? She didn't like feeling helpless, and for some reason that's how he was making her feel. We're not a team. You're a god, and I'm a mortal. How can we be a team if I only earn my own spot on Mount Olympus if I complete this quest? Your life isn't on the line here. Meg. He tried reaching for her, and she stepped back. Angry tears sprang in her eyes. She didn't want to hear what he had to say. No, When this boat finally reaches the entrance to the underworld, it won't be you or Phil or Pegasus who has to keep going. It'll be me. I'm the one who has to convince Hades to let me take Katarina back to the land of the living. I'm the one who has to survive another brush with death. She was shaking. How am I supposed to face Hades and whatever beasts await me down there if every time I'm in trouble, the almighty Hercules swoops in to save me? For the first time, he didn't contradict her, and for some reason, that made her realize something. You don't think I can do this, do you? Meg, no, that's not true, Hercules said, but she could see the fear written all over his face. I just want you to know I'm here when you need me. Well, I don't. She just wanted to put an end to this ridiculous argument. I can do this on my own, and I'll prove it. She pulled the orchid out of her satchel. Meg, what are you doing? Hercules looked panicked. Red? Phil's face sounded like a warning. Think about this. Red. But she didn't want to think. She hurled the orchid into the water. It floated for a few moments before sinking in front of their eyes. Meg. Hercules looked forlorn. I can't get another one of those. Bells chimed, and Hermes appeared. Hercules, your mother wants to see you. Of course, Meg thought. Can you tell her I just need a moment? Hercules started to say. Nope, you're needed now. Something about a bird? Let's go, lover boy. He grabbed Hercules' right biceps. Meg, Hercules' face was pained. She turned away. This part she was familiar with. He was going to leave her just like everybody else did. Just go. Hercules stared sadly at her as he started to glow brighter. Goodbye, Wonder Boy, Meg whispered as he disappeared from sight.